Right, welcome back to Shootfish Productions, and if you want to watch us go through the basics of filling PCP rifles and pistols, stay tuned. Today we're going to go through 3 rifles and a pistol. They all slightly different on how they're filled, what they're used to being filled with, so that should give you a good range of what's out there on the market from budget to high end. For a PCP air rifle or pistol, you'll need compressed air of some sort, so that's either a pump, which we do not recommend, or the best way that's been invented so far is a little scuba tank. This is a 3 litre tank. You have your valve for opening the airflow, your pressure valve, or your pressure gauge, and a whip which is connected through the back, and that is basically all you need. And on this side is your pressure release valve, which once you've pressurized your whip, you can't release it from the gun without depressurizing the whip. So what we'll do next is we'll start filling. We'll start with a high-end one, I think. This is a Warwick HW100 FSB. Right, so what we do now, I just need the filling probe, and you just pull out the plug here. Right, so the next step is we take the filling probe with the quick release on and just pull it back, fit it in, release it, and it's ready to go. So what we do now is I'm going to try and do it so we can both see what's going on here. Put that in, it fits nice and snug, that ain't gonna have no wobble or anything. And word of warning, once these valves, once they go though, the pressure will shoot up, so do it as slowly as humanly possible. Right, so now I'm gonna point the gun at the cameraman. This is your fill gauge. What's that reading on there, mate?
Spot on the line between the yellow and the green. I haven't got my glasses.
Oh, you've got a screen you're looking through. Alright, so that could do with a nice charge. What I'll do, because it's not my gun, I will only do up to 200. Because I'm not sure, I haven't read the manual and don't know what it's rated to, but I'm gathering it's rated to a little bit higher than that. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this up by using this gauge, not the one on the gun. Just word of warning, your air tank will get warm, close to hot. When you fill up. Oh, there we go. Right, so now there you go. See, I got it up to about 100. I just closed that off, and that's basically where the line is. So now the tank is basically equalised, roughly the same pressure. I'll go up to probably about . Right, so that's sitting round about just under 150. Just check. Yep, that's looking pretty much spot on. So what I'll do, I'll now take it up a little bit higher. And you want to do it in little stages like this, so you don't create too much temperature in the cylinder. That looked like bang on 200 to me. So I'll close it off. And it's sitting just under 200. So what we do now, we're going to do the release valve, which is a little bit of noise. I don't mind, and then you just pull out and then replug it. put your little dust plug in, and that's ready to go. Right, so first one down. Right, this is my Air Arms S410F carbine. Let's fill it up. I only need a slight top up because I ain't used it for so long, because I need to go through it and give it a good once over before I fire it again. This has got a solid screw cap on it, because this is the new T-valve system, so you got a little T on the end there, which locks in your fill probe, which the old style Air Arms was like this style. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get my T-probe. This is what the T-bar probe is. What you do, you slot the thing and then you twist it, and that locks it in while you fill. So that's basically just a design that Air Arms come up with. There's another one with a screw fitting, so I've had to put my quick adapters on it. When I first done this, I thought this just doesn't seem to have a good enough seal, if you know what I mean. I was a little bit wary about it, but I never had any problems since. Make sure you seal your air valve, your release valve is closed before you start to fill again. Right, we noticed when we then tried to fill this up we weren't getting a brilliant seal, and I just looked at the seals on here and they seem extremely dry. What we're going to do is put some of the silicone grease on the O-rings, on the seals, just to see if we can get them nice and lubricated so they create a nice seal. Right, another down point to this thing, if you don't have it, I don't know if you can see it, but if you don't have it like locked over completely, I think that could accidentally pop off. But I'm not the engineering geniuses that come up with these things, so I will trust their judgment. And I'm going to go up probably to about 220. If I close my seal properly. Right, going up probably about 220 bar. That's 210. Yeah.
But you need new O-rings on it.
Yeah, I think these are dried out a bit too much. So
I think that'll fill up to certain pressure with them, and then you know.
It fills up enough for, like, if you've got over 200 bar in your rifle, that's basically a full tank. But I have had this up a little bit higher, and that lasted a good 120 shots, like at a nice straight power curve. Yeah, that's just sitting above the 200 mark on the old regulator in the bottom. This one's a little bit safer because your regulator's in the bottom of the stock, so you're not looking anywhere near the end of your barrel like you would if you had one in the end. So I would say that one's good. This one needs a bit of maintenance, as I said. I'll run through it. This is a Webley Raider made in Birmingham, so a nice English made gun, as was my Air Arms. And what we're going to do is fill this bad boy up, but that has no gauge because there was no gauges put on guns back then, because it's quite an old one, I gather. Do you know what year it was made?
No. 90s, I think.
Yeah, I'd say late 80s, early 90s. That's a nice gun. It's got a nice bronze trigger, all the good stuff. We didn't have a gauge, obviously, so we didn't know how high to fill it up to, so we looked at what did you go on, a forum or something?
I had the book with a gun.
You had the book with a gun, which was lucky, and they said 180 bar, I think, from what I can remember from the last time I filled it up. Where does this go, in the bottom?
Yep.
Simple as that. Right, what we're going to do, is this completely out, or?
Near enough. Is your release thing done?
Yeah. You got a little bit more in there than you think, mate.
I might have.
About 120. Yeah. Why do your guns always fart? Yeah. That's taking charge now. So it's pretty bang on. So that is rifle number 3 done. The Webley Raider, which is a nice bit of kit. I'd say you probably want to bench fire this instead of shoulder firing it and stuff, because it's an old school gun that's got a nice bit of heft to it, which would only help in accuracy, I gather. But to the next one, and the final one, is our pistol. Right, up next we have the PP700W from SNK. There's several versions of this out there. You got like Artemis and stuff like that. But this is a nice little 22 pistol, 22 caliber pistol, and yeah, I need to get this filled up because I love this thing. It's brilliant. As you know, if you've seen some previous videos, I destroyed the gauge trying to fix a leak in this tank. I'd have to wait over a month for a new gauge, which was like a couple of quid, mate, to be fair. So we just put a bolt in it, so we just took it out. I know this tank can go up to 220 bar, that is not PSI. About 140. That's a little bit of a big jump. 200. Put it over a little bit over 200. As that settle? That's settling down to 200. Do that. Pull that. And this is the best one because you ain't got a stock on it. You can actually feel how warm it is. But yeah, it's a lot warmer. That's now e-glowing out. But yeah, if you fill it up and pick it up and you think, well, yeah, that's a bit warm, that's only because of the pressure. So that is the 3 rifles, the pistols done. This, we are going to do a remake of a previous video we done with testing the silencer on this, because we were shooting targets and not into dirt or ground, so you can't actually hear the silencer. All you can hear is the moderator, or whatever you call it nowadays, whatever language you need to use. You can't hear it because we're hitting targets instead of the ground. So what we're going to do, we're going to redo the thing with a few separate mics hopefully, and try and get a good representation of what that actually sounds like with actually not being here. So thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one.